Tonight we are in Georgia's capital city, Tbilisi, and we are on the way to a Supra. We're very excited, and if you don't know what a Supra is, keep watching and you're going to find out.
We're on an adventure, driving as far east as our rusty, not so trusty van will allow. Join us, Lucy and Ben, on our journey around the hot springs, remote villages and undiscovered lands of Europe, Turkey and beyond. In this episode, we get a taste of Georgia's ancient tradition of polyphonic singing. We get invited to a Supra, a traditional Georgian feast, before heading into the Caucasus Mountains to witness a unique and mystical Sufi ceremony. Finally, our search for polyphonic singing brings us back to Tbilisi, Georgia's capital, where we meet a group of young singers working to keep traditional folk music alive. We were due to meet our host Holly and her friends at the folk centre. Unfortunately, we did the typical tourist thing and ended up at the wrong one. That's more like it. We'd heard so much about Georgian Supras, and now we had the opportunity to be part of one. We'll hand over here to our friend Holly to explain this uniquely Georgian tradition.
I'm falling behind on my tamada duties, but I'll try to catch up a bit. So one of the things that happens in a Supra is that the toast is made by the toastmaster, the tamada, and then anyone around the table is welcome to speak to that toast. So if the tamada says something that resonates with you, you can say, "Would you mind if I continued your toast and added to it?" So the Supra it's kind of a dance between this structure and spontaneity, and the person that keeps the structure is called the tamada, who's the toastmaster. So when I say this toast to peace, if you feel moved to speak, then you can. I think some of the few rules at the Supra table are to not speak about anything negative, I think, to try to keep it positive, right? So he's leading the table in toasts. And of course, our special guest, Ben and Lucy, who drove here from the UK, and I'm sure we'll get them to join in some songs as well. So just welcome everyone, and to our meeting. The tamada is presenting each toast or suggesting each toast, and the tamada should be quite poetic. You might toast to peace, love, friendship. There's usually a toast to Georgia, to the deceased, to our ancestors and to our children. Those are the kind of big topics that might be toasted to. Our second toast is to peace. Shvidobas Galmajos. Shvidobas Galmajos. And if there's singers around the table, then it's really special because the toast might be followed by a song. Yeah, so I guess songs and toasts And then food and wine, they're probably the 4 ingredients you need for a successful supra. The plates should be piled high.
I have to say the food is absolutely amazing. It's always a bit of a gamble for us whether there's going to be any good vegetarian food. In fact, everything here is vegetarian, and this is our second try of Georgian cuisine now, and it's just so different to anything else we've tried before, isn't it? It's really unique, the combination of the spices and the freshness. We've got some kinkali here, which are traditional dumplings stuffed with potato and cheese, and absolutely delicious. Loads of lovely roasted vegetables, fresh salads, and the khali, which are vegetable balls with walnuts and spices, and they are sensational. And of course, it's all washed down with plenty of good Georgian wine, which is essential for the toasting at a supra.
It's really nice to be invited out to this traditional meal. We've heard a lot about supras before we came here, and within weeks of arriving, we've been invited to one, and it's such a lovely feeling to be made to feel really welcome here.
For me as a non-Georgian, why I love Supra, it's like this place to express your feelings in front of other people, express your love for other people in a sincere way, with other people watching and listening, that we don't really have in our society, in our Western societies. It's so much about the relationships at the table. So I hope that any connections made this evening can last for a long time, and our Ursietowa can continue. So it's something pretty special.
With the night drawing to an end, we felt grateful to have had the opportunity to meet such a wonderful group of people. It was clear to see that supras held a power to bring people together in such a way that they dissipated any awkwardness between strangers, and that the music too was a timeless way of bonding. Having heard this music for the first time at the table this evening, we were keen to discover more of Georgia's unique singing elsewhere in the country.
Wow, what an evening. Absolutely fantastic. And that's really lived up to its amazing, hospitable, welcoming reputation it has. The singing was amazing, the food was amazing, it was lovely to have some company, and that's so far been a real highlight of our time here in Georgia.
We left the capital city in search of more of this wonderful polyphonic music. Many of Georgia's villages are known for their ensembles, but it was the Pankisi Gorge that would really capture our interest. As we climbed out of the city and into the Caucasus Mountains, the temperatures plummeted, snow began to pile high at the roadside, and the cows refused to move. The journey was spectacular, and it was moments like these when we really appreciated winter travel. Pankisi Gorge is a geographical corridor that merges with the neighbouring Chechen Republic. The valley is home to 6 villages inhabited by the Kist, a sub-ethnos of people who migrated from Chechnya in the early 1800s and settled among the mountains here. They brought with them their culture, language and religion, which merged with Georgian traditions to create a unique cultural landscape on the edge of the Caucasus. We'd heard about the Aznash Laman Ensemble from the Pankisi Valley, a singing group who'd been working to change the image of this misunderstood region and put its troubled past behind it, and we'd hoped to hear them perform. Unfortunately, the ensemble weren't available, but the leader, Raiza, was also the leader of a mystical Sufi ceremony in the old Duisi village mosque. The Zikr ceremony is a form of meditation in which participants, or dakirs, chant, clap, pray and dance in remembrance of Allah. The repetition of the chants and movement in circles often leads to a trance and a state of ecstasy. What is unique in Pankisi is that the Zikr ceremony is performed by this group of women, one of the only places in the world where it is not just performed by men. The group incorporates Sufi hymns sung in a blend of Chechen and the Kist dialect, calling for peace and forgiveness. The women chant, La ilaha illallah, there is no God but God, as they fall deeper into a trance. Unfortunately, the Zikr ceremony is at risk of being forgotten, with no one learning the ritual to take over from Raiza as leader. A waning interest among young people, coupled with a stricter form of Islam being taught at the new Duisi mosque, means this unique ceremony may have a limited lifespan in Pankisi.
ესე იგი, რო დავიწყებთ ჩვენ ამ რიტუალს, რო ვიწყებთ, ჩემ თავს აქ არ აქვს უკვე ვარ სხვა სამყაროში, სხვა სამყაროში. რა თქმა უნდა, ესენიც ნანოხ უკვე აზლუშ ამ ქვეყნის სტუმრები ვართ და უკვე ვახუხილდი ეწამახიაივე.
You can view the photo essay about the Zikr ceremony in Pankisi on our website at lbjournals.com.
Oy nani da na na vodeli
visit to the Pankisi Valley and the Zikr ceremony had been a beautiful encounter that we were honoured to have had the chance to see. After experiencing an insight into Kist tradition and song, we were interested in exploring more of Georgia's own traditional music and culture. So we returned to Tbilisi, a city built on thermal water, known for its cathedrals, fortresses and bathhouses, to meet our friend Holly, who would talk to us a little more about Georgian polyphony.
So my name is Holly Taylor-Zuntz. I'm from Oxford, UK, and I'm a singing leader and a podcaster that specialises in Georgian polyphonic songs. Welcome to Voices of the Ancestors, where we explore Georgian polyphonic songs
and the women who sing them.
So Voices of the Ancestors podcast, it came about because we wanted to give a voice to the women who sing this music. A lot of the times when you Google Georgian polyphonic songs, the first videos you'll see are men's ensembles sounding amazing. They produce this incredible sound. And we just wanted to make sure that the women here are being platformed just as much and being heard. It was mainly to celebrate the work that Georgian women are doing in folk music, but also non-Georgian women around the world who sing this music. People who even don't know anything about Georgian songs, they learn from listening to the podcast, and we've had a few listener responses saying, I knew nothing about Georgian songs before listening and I still found it really interesting. So some of the things that are special about Georgian polyphonic songs, firstly, they're always in at least 3 voices. So you need minimum of 3 people to sing a Georgian song. You can't really sing them on your own, which is a bit sad. You've got to have at least 2 friends with you. And polyphony literally means many voices. So it's a type of harmony where the different voices have their own melody. Sometimes the bani, or the bass note, the lowest voice, is just holding one note like a drone for a long time, and the other 2 voices are interweaving or sometimes even improvising. You think, how is this not composed? You know, this is folk music that's just been passed down through the generations and people remember it. And the incredible thing is that people do remember it and that these songs have survived so many years.
Where elements of tradition were at risk of dying out in the Pankisi Valley, Georgian polyphony and folk music were being very much kept alive by the many ensembles throughout the country. We were on our way to visit Ameri-Imeri, a group of young adults striving to uphold and preserve the rich culture of their ancestors through music and dance.
Yeah. Ameri-Imeri, and this means East and West Georgia. This name is that we try to sing the whole Georgia's songs, because every region has very special harmony in Ameri-Imeri was founded in 1991 by a very famous ethnomusicologist in Chechen. His wife Nina Bagaturia, they thought about such studio and then founded. This was the folk ethnographic ensemble, and they try to learn to children not only songs with dances, round dances, Georgian mythology, folk poems, and other things. And find some people who knows old folk songs and study from records them also, and we talked with these people and learned from them songs. They have no notes, they have no records. In only 20th centuries we can record these songs. Before they father taught to his children, so the children grow up with the music, and children learned it not on lessons, with life. Georgian tradition, Georgian music, and we have to keep it. It's very miracle when you sing in three voices, and every part, because every part is very different, and when you join it, it's the best harmony.
We've come a long way, and I think the job that we have done has to be appreciated, at least by the Georgians, and if it could gather the eyes of the other people from other countries, that would be amazing. Then more people would know about us and the things that are happening traditionally in Georgia. This is my motherland, and it's very important to me that I learn these traditions, the things we do here, and at last it's just so that it's in me, it's in heart, and I just have to do it. For the Georgian people, it's important to remember that they had these traditions in the past, and if it could just disappear one day, no one would remember our roots and where we come from. When we all stand together and this harmony that this music creates, it just feels so euphoric. I don't know. I don't have words to explain it.
We had such a good time last night at the Ameri-Imeri ensemble, and it was so lovely to see such a enthused bunch of young adults really celebrating their heritage and their culture, their traditions, the music, the dance, in such a way that there was just no inhibitions, there was no shyness, everyone just bonded really well. It felt like a big family we walked into there, and it was beautiful to witness. And especially it was so good to see the enthusiasm they had when they were learning the new songs, and they just seemed to pick it up so quickly. It was really inspiring to watch them learning and really reveling in this beautiful music that was such an important part of the country's history.
It was absolutely wonderful, and we really hope you've enjoyed watching this mini documentary as much as we've enjoyed learning about polyphonic singing in Georgia. It's been a real
journey for us, but at the same time we feel like we've only just scratched the surface of folk singing in Georgia. There really is so much variation, so many different styles in the different regions, so many, probably hundreds of ensembles, and we've got to record just a fraction of that, and it's really left us wanting more, hasn't it? We
Absolutely.
really want to come back to Georgia and visit the singing villages when they're a little bit more accessible.
Yeah, as Lucy says, we were going to try and push to reach these villages, but the weather is just not playing ball right now. These places are really isolated and really cut off in the winter months, and it would not have been possible for us to get there. But if this has been something that you found interesting, please let us know, because we would really love to have your enthusiasm on board as well, so we can go and visit these places in the future, because they are amazing, and I think every part of this country has a different story to tell.
Absolutely. And if you've enjoyed the music that you've heard in this video and you're intrigued, you want to find out more, then you absolutely have to check out the Voices of the Ancestors podcast, which is run by our friend Holly and her friend Susan. And we are so grateful to Holly for making all of this possible, because she's taken what would have been just an idea and made it a reality for us. To be able to film all of this over the past few weeks here has been absolutely incredible. And she also runs some choirs back in Oxford as well, if anyone's interested and really wants to get into learning Georgian music a bit more.
It's hard to believe actually that this entire video started as an idea in a hot spring where we first met her and her friend Amy. And it was just that flicker of inspiration that gave us the motivation to do this video. And it's been so nice to have someone on board that's got a real passion to share, and it's helped us so much. So yeah, huge thanks to Holly for this video.
All from one chance encounter in a hot spring, isn't it amazing?
So making these small documentaries is what we're really passionate about. We love telling stories from the road. That is our whole ethos, and we really want to make more of these in the future. It's where we see our videos going for sure, moving away from the vloggy side of stuff. So if you enjoy this kind of stuff we're making, the best way you can help us and support us is to share these videos like crazy. We really want to get more viewers and more subscribers, which then means we'll be able to make more videos in the future because we'll have more of an income.
And if you really want to go that extra mile to support us and help us keep making these videos that we love, then you can also join us on Patreon. So that's it for now. We really hope you've enjoyed this video, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
Bye.
Cheers.
Join us next time on our journey for a snow-packed adventure as we drive north into the greater Caucasus Mountains, pushing ourselves and our van to its limits. We share with you the hardships of winter travel as temperatures plunge to -22 degrees and our van battles against waxing fuel and frozen brakes.
Brakes are frozen.
Before continuing to the Ingushetian border, marking the furthest northeast point on this journey.
People did these things in the past, and if it could just disappear, I'm so sorry.
Wow, that was a good one. What we're saying. Lucy's always making a mess. This is why we don't go out for food very often.
I love this question. It was as if I was connecting to something in the past. Should we take that one again? Still found it really interesting.
Fantastic.
Can you hear it on the headphones through the live mic? She's doing it on purpose. For behind the scenes videos and to see the reality of making a TV programme and travelogue series, join us over on Patreon.